Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today we'll start off in a kneeling position. Bring your hands to rest on your thighs and allow your eyes to close. Take a few moments to find breath in this position. Every inhale, find more length through your spine all the way up through the crown of your head. And every exhale, feel a sense of grounding through your hip bones towards your heels. Keep these breaths moving in both directions. And then slowly transition into an all-fours tabletop position. Bring your shoulders right over your wrists and your hips over your knees. We're gonna start to move into a set of cat and cow. So on your inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze, arch through your spine. And on your exhale, press into the ground, dome through your upper back. And continue to take this with your own breath. I love warming up with this cat-cow. It's a great way to warm up through the spine and to start to activate through your shoulders, through your chest, and through your core as well. We take this about 5 times. Go at your own pace. And on your 5th time, hold this deep contraction and then press the tops of your feet into the ground so much that your knees hover up off the ground. So we're getting a little bit deeper into the core. Really press down through your hands, spread the fingers wide. And then slowly, gently release your knees down to the ground. Extend your right leg long behind you. Keep your 2 hips square down to the mat and lift and lower your right leg 5 times. We're starting to find a little more activation through the right glute. Try not to move your upper torso at all. The leg is isolated, it moves on its own. After your 5th time, flip your bottom toes, so your left knee, and then float your left knee up off the ground. Hold this for 5 seconds, just another way to engage the core. And then slowly lower, come back to all fours. And we take the other side, so extend your left leg back long behind you. Lift your left leg, and then 5 times, lift and lower. Keep both of your hips squared down to your mat. Keep your core engaged. Notice if you're dumping into the lower back. Try to find support there. And then after your 5th set, flip your right toes and then try to float your right knee up off the ground, just to challenge the core a little bit more. And then slowly release. From here, flip your feet, downward facing dog. Option to take a little bit of movement if you'd like to pedal through your feet, maybe bend your knees. And then find a neutral shape, energize your heels towards the ground. And start to walk your feet up towards your hands for a ragdoll pose. Separate your feet about hips width distance, take a soft little bend with your knees. Option here if you'd like to grab elbow to elbow. I think that's a great way to add a little additional weight to the forward fold. You can find some more traction through your spine this way. Maybe find a gentle sway, a gentle movement through the head and the neck. Then slowly release your hands and roll yourself all the way up to stand. Nice, slow, and controlled. Head, shoulders are the last things to arrive. And then once you get there, open your arms wide. Tee your arms out to the side. Open through your chest, and now give yourself a big hug. Right elbow underneath left. Point your elbows up towards the ceiling. Now bend your knees and release your elbows down. Slowly roll up, release your arms, open them once again. We take this the other way, so the left arm comes underneath. Give yourself a hug. Inhale to point the elbows up. Exhale, bend your knees, release. We take this 2 more times each side with breath. Roll yourself up. Inhale, open the arms, open the chest. Exhale, hug and contract right arm under. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, elbows down, bend the knees. Slowly roll up. Open through the arms, lift and open through your chest. Exhale, left arm underneath your right. Inhale, point the elbows up. Exhale, bend your knees, release down. And slowly roll up 1 more time, matching breath to movement. Inhale, open through the arms. Bring your right arm underneath your left. Inhale, point the elbows up. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold, release. And slowly roll up 1 last time. Open through the arms, open through the chest. Exhale to bring your left elbow underneath your right. Inhale, point your elbows up. Exhale, bend your knees, find a forward fold. And then slowly, slowly roll yourself up. Once again, open up through the arms, through the chest. Release your arms down by your side. Bring your feet together, and then from here, we're coming into an eagle wrap. So your right arm will come underneath your left. Now, if this is too much for the arms, find that hug again. Pull your right knee up and then cross your right knee over your left and send your hips back. So we're coming into a balanced posture. You're probably noticing that by now. Really activate and squeeze the legs together and squeeze your arms together. Keep your arms the same. Slowly stand up, pull your right knee up, and then extend your right leg back behind you. So we're coming into another challenging balanced position. Extend the leg like you were in an arabesque with your right leg long behind you. From horizontal, move back to vertical, one-legged mountain, unravel the arms, lift your arms up. And then from here, cross your right ankle over your left knee for your figure four. So this is a big balance sequence. I know that bottom left foot is starting to get fatigued. We're finding power, we're finding balance through that bottom supporting left side. Inhale, lift your right leg up, one-legged mountain. We've been here before. And we move into a full warrior three. Extend your right leg long behind you and energize your fingertips forward. Think of a horizontal position like a capital T shape through the body. And again, think of that nice long arabesque through the right leg. Release your hands down to the mat. Use blocks or bolsters if you need. And then lift and lower your right leg 5 times. So we're coming into another little glute burner here. Try to keep both of your hips square to the ground. If your bottom knee needs to be bent, then let your bottom knee be bent. After your 5th time, keep your right leg up. And we take little pulses from here, 10 tiny little pulses just up and up. Very small. Try to square both of your hips down to the ground. Stay with it. I know this is really intense for both legs. That right glute is burning and the left supporting leg is burning as well. Okay, you made it. After your 10 pulses, bring your right leg down, forward fold. Separate your feet, bend your knees a lot, and slide your palms underneath the bottoms of your feet. This is called a gorilla pose. You can bend your knees a lot here and try to get your torso closer towards your thighs. Allow your elbows to bend if that's available for you as well, to bring your torso a little bit closer towards the legs. Release your palms and slowly, slowly roll yourself up to stand. And we're gonna set all of this up on the second side. Lift your arms up and then bring your left arm underneath your right. Find this eagle wrap. From here, shift your weight to your right foot, pull your left knee up, and then cross your left leg over your right like you're sitting in a chair and send your hips back. Find compression in this balanced posture. Squeeze your thighs together, squeeze your arms together. Every inhale, allow your spine to get a little bit longer. Every exhale, maybe your hips sink down just a little bit further. Continue to squeeze and hold. Now keep your arms the same. Unravel, lift your left knee. And then from here, extend your left leg long behind you. Keep your arms the same as you tip forward, so the arms are going to make the balance feel a little bit different because we're a little more weighted through the front, the torso. Rotate your left hip down to the ground. Think of the energy that you want to extend through your back left foot. Slowly move from horizontal to vertical. Unravel your arms, lift your arms up, one-legged mountain. And from this one-legged mountain, we move into a figure four. Cross your left ankle over your right knee, send the hips back. Now, typically we might have the hands at heart center here. I want you to extend and energize through the fingertips. So not only are we finding this nice glute stretch in the left glute, but we're also finding length through the spine instead of release. Inhale your left leg up, one-legged mountain. I know that right leg is burning. We're almost out of this. Come back to horizontal, warrior three. Energize, fingertips forward, left foot back, like you're being pulled apart in 2 directions. And then slowly release your hands down to the mat. If you need blocks or books, you can also bend your bottom right knee. And then start to lift and lower your left leg. So we're coming into another little glute burner here on the opposite side. Hands can be on blocks, bottom right knee can be bent. Take this 5 times up and down like you're slicing through the air. And after your 5th time, hold the left leg up and take 10 tiny little pulses. final bit of work here. I know the right side's feeling it. Our left glute is getting activated. After your 10th, bring your left foot down and bend your knees and come all the way down onto your back, however you need to get there. From your back, bring your feet so they're flat, and we're moving into a few sets of a back bend. 3 sets. So our first set will be a bridge pose. Press your hips up. If you'd like to, you can interlace your fingers at the base of your spine. That's a nice little heart expander. Press evenly through the feet, especially into the big toe part of your foot. And now slowly, slowly release. Lower back and hips are the last thing to make contact with the mat, and then give yourself a moment here with your hips on the ground. Just allow the weight of your hips to be taken by the mat. And then we take another round of back bends, coming back into this bridge pose. Press into your feet and lift your hips up. Notice if your knees are kind of bowing away from each other, make sure that you have even amounts of weight through your feet. Can you press down a little more on your feet to lift your hips up? We're here maybe a little longer than is comfortable. And then slowly, slowly roll down. Nice and controlled. Lower back and hips are the last thing to make contact. Pause and breathe. We come into one final back bend. Option for that bridge pose. I'm going to give an option for a full wheel pose as well. Bring your fingers so they point towards your shoulders. Press down into your hands. Press down into your feet. And if it's available to you, press yourself up into this full wheel pose. Take the back bend that works for you. That bridge pose is a lot more restorative. Wherever you are, continue to press down into your feet. Continue to lift your hips up. If you're in this full wheel pose, tuck your chin and everybody slowly lower down. Knock your knees together. Open your feet a little bit wider. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. We come into this posture called constructive rest. Return back to the movement of your breath. Release, and we move into supine figure 4. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Try to lift your left foot up off the ground, and then maybe you thread your hands underneath your bottom left thigh. Pull this shape closer towards your body. Breathe into the stretch in your right glute. You can stay still here. Maybe you find a little bit of side-to-side movement. And then slowly release, and we move this to the opposite side. Cross your left ankle over your right knee. Option to lift your right foot, thread your hands underneath your bottom right thigh. You can stay still or maybe find a little side-to-side movement. Find full big breaths. And then slowly release this stretch, let it go. Pull both of your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze here. You can grab for fingers or wrists or forearms. Maybe take a gentle rock from side to side. Our final pose is a happy baby. Grab the outsides of your feet, pull your knees towards your armpits. Again, you can find a little bit of movement here if that feels good. Notice any areas you still might be holding on to tension, maybe the jaw, the face. Try to find a little movement around those areas. And then extend your legs long and heavy in front of you. Arms can come to your side, maybe one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Allow your eyes to close or find a soft gaze. And take these final moments to reconnect with your breath. We take this little meditation at the end of every yoga session. Just gives your body and your mind the opportunity to absorb everything that you just put into it. Give yourself this moment of stillness and silence. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.